Go live. I think I'm live. I think we're live. Hey Megan. Hey Mark. I think we're probably just gonna have a small crew. Yes, he's doing his makeup, Megan. Probably just gonna have a small crew. Yes, that's me echoing there. Sorry about that. As you know, I'm just getting the hang of all this stuff, so I'm doing a bit of a test run. So I'm glad you guys could join us. So before, well, there's only a few of us here, so let's get Thomas on. There he is.
Hi everyone, how are you doing? How are you all this morning?
The man of the moment.
This afternoon, this evening. This morning.
Morning.
Yeah.
I think it was a true. I think that. Did you watch? I think it was the what was that one with the Truman Show? Was that the one with what's your name? Jim Carrey? No.
Yeah.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and good night.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Can you all hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah. I'm coming through. Am I?
I can hear you.
That's good.
Mark and Megan, let us know if you can hear us. Okay, send us a little ping. Let us give us a type 1 or something. So, guys, thanks for joining us. Obviously, we have the man, the one and only Thomas on the show. Yes, the Watchmaster. So I thought we'd do a bit of a test run. I really love live streams. I love watching. I like being mainly just for chatting with you guys and for just catching up with everyone and hey, how do you guys here? Awesome.
Sure, they're a great way of interacting with each other, aren't they? With people that we get, people you've got a lot in common with in the watch community, and we can share our thoughts and we can interact with each other and chat about different releases and what's going on in the community. And they're a great way of interacting live streams, I feel.
Yeah, they are. And once they're set up like this, I just thought I'd do this so I can get the hang of setting it up. Probably not going to do a 4-hour ID guy marathon, but
yeah,
maybe I was thinking this is the only time in my bloody life where I get a couple of hours of quiet time on a Tuesday night because Mrs. B is at work, and you know what I mean. So she's not around to hassle me. So maybe
the kids are in bed.
That's right, the kids are in bed. Yeah. So if if you guys enjoy this and if it suits everyone, we might sort of try and make it a regular thing where we can catch up and pull up some watch.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. So, God no. One more. I think Mark. Let me. What do I do this? Is that okay? So this is how I do the comments. Yes.
ID guy loves a 4-hour stream. Don't you?
He loves it. I think he's.
He can't get enough of them.
Yeah, he can't get enough. He's one of those guys that secretly loves his own voice, maybe. Just kidding.
No, he's just addicted to the. He's talking of how we like live streams. He's addicted to the live streams. He can't get enough of them.
Yeah, well, he
likes live streams so much that he puts his own up for 4 hours. That's what he likes to socialize with the community so much that he likes to put his live streams up for not 1 hour, not 2 hours, not 3, but 4, so that he can socialize with the community. He's such a social.
He's a social butterfly.
Yeah, social butterfly. Yeah, he's out there with everyone. He's putting it about. He's the man.
Spreading the love. He's on that crack. He's on that good crack. We're going to talk about that a bit later when we talk a little bit about your collection. We'll come back to that. First question, and I'm going to sort of practice my interviewing skills here. So first question, wristwatch check. What are you wearing at the moment, buddy?
I am wearing. Let's see if I can get it on camera. I'm wearing my Baby Ploprof.
Baby Ploprof. This is a man. I was watching. I caught the punters show the other day with the Omegas, and I think you guys were looking at this watch, and it's such a cool watch. Actually, man, I love this watch. Were you saying that this was a Watchco? Is it a Watchco watch?
Yeah, it's a Watchco version. It's a really nice. It's on the shark mesh strap, and it's a lovely watch. Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Because you kind of get that hardcore coolness of the Ploprof without having
without the Millennium Falcon shape. Yeah,
cool one. So I'm wearing this is a Spinnaker that I won in the Discord group, which is a little sort of
brilliant
black and orange diver.
That's lovely. I love that orange lume on it. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
You won in the competition, didn't you? Yeah. That's a great watch, JCB. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, it's a cool little watch, that one. I like the color scheme's kind of cool, and goes with the black jacket as well. So
lovely.
Without
a black dial with orange lume, is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, look, the lume's not it's not great, but it's it's okay. You got to charge it up. Like, I feel like you need to put it in front of a nuclear bomb to actually get the thing to charge up or something. But once it's sort of charged up, you get a little bit of lume. So yeah, it's okay. But I'm getting into black watches. This made me I started thinking about sort of black watches.
As in DLC coated, or just black dials, or
no, like ceramic.
Yeah,
no, I love black. But ceramic.
PVD coated, DLC coated.
Yeah, maybe not PVD, because I don't think PVD is so, but it's not very what's the word, like robust. It can scratch.
Resilient, not resilient.
Yeah. But when you get into ceramics and carbon cases,
right?
Obviously the price starts going crazy, but
you're talking but then you're talking the possibility of damaging a watch and a bit of the carbon breaking off, aren't you? You talk about ceramic breaking off. So there are pros and cons, aren't there, when you come to watches made out of different materials.
That's the thing that's always in the back of my mind. Like, you buy a ceramic watch and then you whack it on the door on your way out, and then
that's the only problem.
Like, what do you walk around with your arm covering your watch the whole time or something? I don't know. I don't know. I think you just got to bite the bullet. I'll just see. And I think I was showing you in the Discord. I tried on that crazy ass Gerard Perregaux, the ceramic one.
Oh yes, the Laureato.
Oh man! Now I'm gonna try and. This is my first time trying to share screen, so I'm going to do that. Let's see how it goes. You copying a bit of that?
Yeah, sure. We'll see that. Yeah.
Now let's go StreamYard. How does this work? Okay, so that's me. I want us there, and I want that. Yeah, this thing.
So this is the ceramic Laureato that you tried on this one.
Yeah, this is the ceramic one. So there's the stainless steel, and then I tried on the ceramic one. This one is just like badass, man. It's really, really nice. Like, it's what the hell? I don't want to do that. Sorry. So the ceramic actually it's got a really nice texture. It's not fully black. it's I don't know. Okay, I'll have to figure out this share screen thing a bit better.
No, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. You're doing fine.
And so, yeah, really nice, really nice. I really like that one a lot. So I know Megan is and the Arthurs are on the GP bandwagon a lot. So the more I hang out with you guys, I think that's going to be dangerous for my wallet.
Yeah, they are big GP fans, the Arthurs. They are.
And because I'd never experienced GP. I'd seen them in the AD, but I'd never put one on the wrist. Really thin, really comfortable, really lightweight with the ceramic. I have to look into. It's a brand I'm going to look into this year for sure. It's really, really. The price mark was 17 or thereabout Aussie. I think that's the retail. So once you like, I don't know what the discount. What would the discount on that be? Maybe you could. Let's just say it's 20% off. You know, someone who's good at maths do that. I'm shit at maths, so I'm not going to try. But
how
maybe
much was
like
it?
14. You could maybe get it for
14.
so
You get a discount of maybe
Aussie.
sort of
No, 17 Aussie. 17 Aussie, which whatever that is. That's the list. I don't know. Megan could probably tell us a bit more about what we could expect to get, I think. But anyway, this is all kind of. I'm talking about me now. I wanted to actually talk about.
Go for it. Go for it. Carry on.
Tell us, who is Thomas Burnett?
Well, I live in the north of England, and I'm just a normal guy, really. I'm in my late 40s, and I mean, what do I do? I don't do any. I do a manual job. It's nothing glamorous. It's nothing high profile. Doesn't earn me much money.
It's safe to say that watches are like the main thing in your life that's kind of taking up a lot of your time.
I mean, I'm very into music. I'm a music person. I did a music technology degree when I was younger, and I'm very into music and very into DJing when I was younger, and went through a lot of. What
we DJ like house music and stuff, or hip hop?
House music and hip hop and stuff like that. And I was very into music as a youngster, as a teenager. So that I wasn't so much into the watch game when I was a youngster. I mean, as watches started, I mean, I had a tiny red wristwatch on my wrist when I was about 7 or so, and I started to realize then that there was status and prestige associated with what you wore on your wrists.
Okay, yeah.
And the time when I think a parent outside the school gates after school said to another child, "Oh, is that a Timex?" I've got a Timex too, and that wasn't the watch that I was wearing. She said that to another kid who was wearing the Timex. So I felt a bit left out, you know, and I immediately felt like I wasn't part of a club and became curious about this Timex, you know. And
right.
The fact that my watch wasn't a Timex, I really liked the styling of the name on the style, and this boy who had this one. And, mine was tiny, but his was a bigger one and was a Timex. And I'd never seen a bigger watch apart from adult size watches that my dad wore, you know. And so this Timex was my gateway into the lust for watches, really.
There you go. Okay.
So
stuff back then, that's crazy.
My tiny little hand-wound red watch fad didn't last for that long, really, and I never really actually managed to get a Timex before I was swept away with the digital watches of the 80s and basic ones, you know, with like Space Invader ones, calculator ones, radio watches, and I mean, there's so many interesting styles to explore. And I took no notice of the diver genre until later on when I started secondary school, really. And
the diver genre kind of was that. Do you think the first sort of serious sort of time when you were like, oh, okay, time to get a diver now?
No, I mean, I didn't really take that much notice of divers, even with
Oh,
Casios. I discarded the Casios, and when I got a swatch, I got a plastic
yeah.
swatch, a clear coloured swatch, because all the other designs were too brightly coloured for me, and I wore that for quite a few years until the clear strap went a sort of darker tone and got a bit too dirty. And
Yeah.
that was
Jellyfish. I
yeah,
had one of those.
yeah, that was it, the
Well, this is my
jellyfish
first
one,
ever watch.
exactly.
This was
Yeah,
that when you were 7 years old, the red one. When I was 6 years old, 1985, my first swatch. I've still got it. I found it at my parents' house. So there's something about like when you get your first watch and it sticks in your mind. Like it's a thing for sure. I think, and
absolutely.
it sets you off on the path to where
Yeah,
we
I
are.
mean, I wish I still had my first watch I got. I mean, I can't find that little red one, that little red strapped one. But I
Yeah.
really wish I could find it.
I'm
But
just going to interrupt for 1 second, mate, just
certainly,
to welcome AMG and Maison One, and who else we got? Mark P, Red Shovel, obviously ID Guy and Megan. I think we're a small crew, but we're a tight crew today, so this is cool. Yeah, so because I thought you said that, so I might have misheard you when I thought you said you got interested in diver watches maybe in your teams.
yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't really. There was a Casio diver, but it wasn't. I didn't really take much notice of it. As I say, I got a swatch, and then when that swatch got too dirty, I bought when I went to sixth form college. I was about 17. There was a lad at sixth form college, and he had a Seiko. His dad was in the Army Air Corps, and he was getting issued with watches, and it was a Seiko 7A287120. That's a bit of a long
You just
number.
carry that around in your head, do you? You just like
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to find this watch at the moment because
okay, that makes sense.
it's lost in a wardrobe at the moment, and I've thought about buying another because it's a really nice watch. It's a pilot's chronograph, and
Oh wow.
it's a
Okay.
really, really nice watch. And I bought it off this lad who stole it off his dad, who was in the army. And I bought it off him for £10 because he wanted to buy some cigarettes.
I was gonna say you want to buy a bag of weed or something.
He wanted to buy some cigarettes. I bought it off him for £10.
Classic.
He stole it off his dad, and I wore it for years on a NATO strap. And it was the first time I'd discovered NATO straps, and I couldn't believe these things. You know, there are bits of material that went through watches, that passed through watches. I couldn't understand them. They're like, it was a totally new revelation for me. A NATO strap. This is what they use in the army. It's like, wow, you know, I couldn't understand it. And
speaking of NATOs, what are your thoughts on NATOs now? Like, do you wear them now? Do you think?
Yeah, I wear them a lot on watches. I wear them on quite a few different watches. I really enjoy them. Really like them. And the fact that you can mix them up, you know, you can use different colors, different patterns on them, different, you know, and totally change the look of your watch.
It's a cheap and fun way to actually feel like you're wearing a new watch for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You can totally mix up the look of your watch. You can go for a grey look, a green look, a black look, one with a stripe down it, you know, and one with a. You can really mix up the look of your watch and, you know, give it a totally different look. And someone can say to you, "Oh, I like your watch. Is that a new watch?" And you know, you might feel really nice by that compliment, you know. Because it's not a new watch. It's an old watch, but it's just got a cheap new strap on it, you know, and it's great.
For sure, straps are really underrated. I think in terms of changing your collection and making you feel like you've bought a new watch without having obviously spent the thousands of dollars. You can really mix it up. I reckon that's good advice to junior players coming into the game.
Absolutely.
Don't underestimate the power of a good strap. A good strap chain.
It's a great way to mix up your watch. I mean, there's no need to get deeply sort of saturated into I've got to buy a new watch, I've got to buy a new watch, I've got to buy a new watch syndrome. When you can just buy a new strap, you can buy a new leather strap, you can buy a new NATO strap, you can buy a elasticated NATO strap, you can buy a new bracelet, a metal bracelet, in all sorts of ways to mix up your old watches.
Yeah.
You can.
Here's a bit of a question. It's sort of related, but what is it about watches exactly, do you think, that makes us so obsessed and almost to the point of what Mark Goldberg says, he calls it an illness. It's not a hobby. I think we're all mentally we're all messed up in the head.
I don't know. I mean, after I got this pilot's watch in my teens at college, in around 2000, I got a new job and I inherited a watch, and it was an Omega, and I inherited it from a family member. It was a 1950s Omega, and that was one thing that started me off again.
Yeah.
That really started me off on watches. It was something I got from a family member, and it was wow, it really struck a chord. It was like, this has got me into watches again. This is actually significant. It's from a family member,
For
and
sure.
it's really brought back this feeling of watches, and this interest of what this whole interest of watches again, basically.
That's the thing. I mean, I think
it revived the interest, and it brought it back to life. So I mean, it started a whole new chapter in my interest of watches, which was in the year 2000 about. And I got a new job, and I started buying what I could afford really with my wage, and I started getting into second-hand. I started buying things off eBay basically, and I bought a tag. I bought a second-hand tag. I bought a second-hand tag Monza. I bought a tag micrograph, and I gave the tag Monza to my dad because eventually he didn't appreciate watches, and he loves it now, and he really cherishes it and really appreciates it. And the micrograph, which was the digital watch that all the Premier League football managers were using.
Right.
But I mean, that didn't last long.
What time period was this, do you reckon?
Say again, sorry?
About what time period was this? When about
this was around the beginning of the millennium, so around 2005 ish.
Yeah.
So I was buying the micrograph, and that didn't last that long. I mean, I soon sold that. Then I started to stray, and I started to buy some watches from an Italian brand called Lockman, which were basically a fashion house making watches, and they're an Italian brand, So I strayed the path basically, and I mean, you make mistakes. It's a learning process, and some had quite interesting cases, and I bought a couple of the cheaper, what we call Nuovo range. And I also bought one of their 1970 range with a diamond bezel to give to a relative. And but there's all a big mistake with that brand. It was as I say, it was just one of those experiences on the journey of horology that not to be done again. And I learned a lot more about other brands and vintage watches from the AD that I bought them from than I did about that brand, basically. And that's just how we learn. But basically, I learn, as I say, I learn a lot more about other brands, and that's how we learn through going to ADs and picking up books and leaflets and catalogs and talking with the staff and seeing watches in different ADs. Really, I mean, it's
So, yeah, for sure. Just on that topic, like if you were going to go back in time to speak to the young Thomas Burnett, the Green Punter, what advice would you give him?
what advice would I give myself again?
Yeah, if you could go back in time and speak to the young DJ happening house party guy.
I don't think I would change anything, to be honest with you, JCB. To be honest with you, I mean, you learn what you do through experience, don't you? And I mean, I'm more than happy where I am at the moment. I mean, I know that I'm not going to be able to afford to be able to buy really expensive pieces. I'm not in a job that supplies me an income where I'm going to be able to buy high horology and things like that. So
never know.
I mean, I've bought a few nice watches in the past. I mean, after I got my nice job, after I got my job in 2000, I ventured into 2010. I bought my first Rolex. I bought a 2011. I bought a Panerai. I started to buy other things off eBay, like the Baby Pro Prof, and I've scoured other things. I've recently I've become part of a focus group with part of the Timeless 168 Capital focus group, which has become great. I mean, I've ventured into a lot of micro brands now.
Okay.
Which has been my new chapter in my watch collecting. So, I mean, I've ventured into a lot of different micro brands through this being part of this focus group.
Okay.
So.
Okay, so it's like it's sort of like market. Is it like market research, sort of like testing?
Yeah, testing different products, testing different prototypes, and so there's been a lot of different products. There's been lots of different brands. So we've gone from things like Vostok Europe, which has been a great brand to look at. Their watches.
Is that
a lot of the Ingersoll watches, which have been great to look at.
Yeah, I got one of those. Yeah.
Some more Ingersoll, the Pilot's watches that they did.
Yeah. It's got a kind of it's got that Zenith onion crown vibe going on there.
This was the Omega that I inherited that started it all off.
Yeah, that's a killer. What a piece to inherit. Like what an amazing thing to have inherited. It's just amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's lovely. 1950s with the
that is insane.
Beads of rice bracelet. It's in amazing condition as well for a 1950s piece.
It's just stunning.
I mean, some of these other brands that I've been able to look at through the focus group, there's been CCP watches.
Okay.
With one with a super compressor case.
Yeah, that's cool.
We've got.
We'll probably have to get Megan and Jacinta and James on one day. One of our next catch-ups to go through, talk about all this stuff. I reckon.
Nice ones here. We've got the a gin clear diver, which was a project James was part of.
Yeah,
with
that's cool.
Peter Sargison from second hour watches. The Macara watch, which is a lovely square-cased watch.
That's funky.
Macara Sea Turtle. Yeah, it's a really funky black dial watch.
What size is that?
What size?
Like across the case, what would that be?
It's about 42, I think.
Yeah.
42 millimeters on the Macara.
Cool.
There's a lot of Aragon watches, a lot of the Aragon brand.
Yeah.
We've got the Regeneron here. And like I say, you know, I do a lot of mixing up on NATO straps, which is really
cool. Yeah.
good on these ones.
Yeah.
So that was one of the first Aragons I got from the focus group, which was the Regeneron.
Okay. Cool.
There's a lot of different so there's quite a few Aragons there.
You're kind of inputting into the design process for these things, basically.
No, I'm not too sure what I'm inputting to the design process. There's a lot of
do you give feedback?
Yeah, give feedback. Yes, give feedback to the focus group. Yes. Yeah. So cool. I mean, these are a lot of prototypes as well. So but then give feedback to the focus group. This is a lot of these. This is my quartz drawer. So I've got a lot of quartz watches in here. This is a Radia one by a Polish brand called Radia.
Yeah.
This is and then this is a one by Jaya, which is
cool.
fully recycled. This is made of recycled fishing nets.
Yeah, I think I've seen you wear that one. I think I've seen you wear that somewhere. Yeah.
And then another quartz one by the Shield brand.
Oh man, I like that. That's cool. Interesting. It's kind of a black Ploprof sort of vibe going on.
Yeah, it's got that sort of Explorer 2 GMT hand as the hour hand, and
yeah.
all sorts of stuff going on there. And
so how many watches do you kind of think you're playing with it at any one time? You got a ton.
Seiko Flying Master on a lovely NDC strap there.
Yeah,
I mean that's a great strap, the NDC strap. I can't recommend them highly enough.
NDC, I got an Erica's original strap last year through a club membership, and they were getting like custom Erica's straps for this club, and it's so comfortable. It's such a cool strap. Yeah, I get them. Like I never got them before. Like you don't get them until you wear them and you use them. They're really, really cool. Very comfortable.
It's all sorts. I mean, got my Panerai in here, and
that's a killer watch. I pulled up a screenshot of ID Guy's review of your collection. I saved the screenshot because I had all your nicer pieces in the one shot. And I was going to ask you, like, do you have a favorite watch that you?
That's now. Well, the Panerai is now on a lovely. It's on a lovely.
That's a Stingray.
It's on a Stingray strap. Yeah. So it's they're
interesting Stingray straps. Do you like it?
They really are. I love it. I really like the Stingray strap.
Yeah. How does the feel compare to, say, your regular alligator or cowhide or something like that? Is it about the same, or is it more supple, or what do you think?
It's lined on the inside. I got it from Aaron Bespoke.
Mate, you don't fuck around. Go straight to the top. Okay.
This is from Aaron Combat Straps. Aaron bespoke this one.
Yeah. Did you do? Clyde, the watch wrangler, always suggests that you don't tell Aaron what to do. He tells you what to do.
I did exactly the same. I consulted him and I just told him what watch it was, and and I got a recommendation off him, and I just went with that. And
does he tell you?
You might not be able to.
Like, does he tell you beforehand what he's going to do before he makes it, or does he just make it and he's like, "Here you go"?
No, he consults you. He recommends something to you, and he sends you pictures and says, "I've got this idea. I've got this idea for your watch. It's a Stingray strap. It's it's this color. It's and you might not be able to see under this light very well."
I'll send you a link.
Might be a bit too orange at the moment, but
oh yeah, under the light, yeah. I found there's this crew called HD Straps, and they always they're in the Australian Facebook group forums and stuff, and they're always showing off their straps. And I got some straps made up from them. They're really like bespoke, like good quality, and like 70 USD or something, like something ridiculous like that. I don't know
here's one I brought. Here's one I brought, which I'm sending to you, JCB. This one's very rare. This one. It's,
oh, cool. That's the new Rolex model. That's just
this is the one they're going to announce this year. They're going to announce this year.
That's the new Explorer 2 with the Explorer 2 Chrono with on the rubber strap. Yeah.
Insider information here.
Yeah. You heard it here first.
Yeah, absolutely. All the Rolex fanboys, this is coming out this year.
Hey, speaking of Rolex, you've got a couple of Rolex in your collection. You've got a Kermit, right? And you've got a Milgauss. Have you still got those?
And a Z Blue Milgauss and a Kermit. Yes, I have. Yes.
Here's a question for you. When ID guy suggested that you sell the Kermit and get a couple of left of field pieces, did you think he was smoking that wacky tobacco, or do you think he was onto something?
I think he was onto something, to be honest with you, because the Kermit I bought for £4,000 and is now selling for £16,000.
Holy shit! Did you get that? Was that from the AD fresh, or was it from the?
Yeah, I bought it brand new from an AD 11 years ago. So, I mean,
amazing. I was listening to someone the other day. I think it was who was it? Like maybe a Roman Shaft video or something. And someone was saying how back then they couldn't get them out of the store. Like everyone looked at the green bezel and they were like, "Oh, what's that? Exactly. I don't want that."
Mine was sat in a shop window for weeks. I passed it and I passed it and I passed it, and I just went in and I bought it on interest-free finance.
Yeah, nice one.
I went into the shop and I bought it on 2 years interest-free credit, and they couldn't get rid of it quick enough. They were desperate to sell me it on interest-free credit.
That's so crazy.
I paid for it over 2 years. I didn't even have to buy it outright on the shop. So it was.
I just pulled up the photo that I grabbed. Bit of copyright infringement from. ID. Yeah, but since this is your photo, you're giving me a license to use the photo. So here's my inner IP lawyer coming out. Hang on a sec. Just give me 1 sec. I'm just going to go on mute for 2 secs. Sorry about that. So here we go. And so we've got the Kermit. Yeah, sorry about that. I just that was just my wife calling. She's on her way home. So the Kermit, they couldn't sell them, and then you walked past the store for a couple of weeks. You saw it there, and you were like, okay, I'll have that now, or like how did you start liking?
I walked past the store for a couple of weeks. Well, what happened with the Kermit was I'd seen it for quite a few months in different stores, leading up to me buying one, and I'd seen it quite a few weeks, and I knew this green bezeled one was a special one. I didn't know quite why. I didn't know because I didn't know it was the anniversary model, but I knew that green was Rolex's. I knew green was Rolex's color because I'd seen them at Wimbledon, and I'd seen them at the golf and things like that, and known that green was Rolex's color because I'd seen them at the clocks at sports events, and I knew that green was Rolex's color. So this green bezel had to be something special because it was normally black, and I was
Had you been into
Rolex?
Have you been into Rolex? Sorry to cut you off. Like up until then, were you following them, or were you interested in them, or is it like
not at all? Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. It was one of those things whereby I knew Rolex was expensive. I knew it was something to aspire to. I knew it was, like a lot of people say, it's a expensive brand, and it's something you aspire to, something you you reach a certain point, you aspire to something. It's something you see in the sports, in things like Wimbledon, the sports events like Wimbledon and the golf and all the different events you see, and you see it on the clocks, and you recognize it. And I hadn't heard of Paul Newman or anything like that, or any of the other people that wore Rolex. I wasn't aware of any of the endorsees. I just knew I knew about the Submariner and about James Bond. I knew about the Submariner and James Bond, and that was it. And
2004.
I was just fast. 2010.
2010. Sorry, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, but that's the thing. Like,
I was fascinated by this green bezel. So and I knew, and I'd seen it in a couple of stores before, which hadn't sold. They hadn't sold very fast. They'd always been in the shop window, and then I saw one, and I thought, I've got to jump on one of these. I've got to get one quickly, because by the time 2010 had come round, they were phasing out, and I'd started to see them less and less. And I'd been looking at them for about 5 years, and I thought this isn't gonna hang. This isn't gonna hang about much because I haven't seen these in the shops for long, and they're obviously not. I haven't seen it. I thought I haven't seen these in the shops for that long, because for many years, and this one's obviously one of the last ones. So I went for it.
Cool. What a cool watch it is, though. Like, I remember when it first came out, sort of roughly, and I was like, man, that's so out there. Like, who the hell would think to put a green bezel on a dive watch? And then now, look where we are now. Like, it was a master stroke. I don't know if it I don't know. It's partly a master stroke. It's partly just a market acting fucking mental, and doing weird shit. I don't know, but it's certainly a cool piece. So you're gonna sell it?
No, I'm not gonna sell it now. No, I'm gonna keep it. I've been tempted, but the only thing I've been tempted by is a Breguet, to be honest with you, to sell it. Is to buy a Breguet. I was gonna say,
but this is your collection. This is kind of like your core, your nice watch collection. Let's call it that. What are you looking at? This was going to be my next question. So following on from here, this is such a great collection. Like, are you looking at something else? Are you thinking of making some moves? Are you going to get something out and get something in? What's your thought process? Are you happy? What's going on?
So, what's going on at the moment? I've got a few things that I'm eyeing up. I'd love to get a Zenith A3. I'd love to get a Zenith A384. I'm on the Zenith train with you at the moment. I'd love to get a Zenith A384, the revival.
Panda?
The reverse Panda, yeah. Sorry, the Panda dial, yeah.
The white dial with the
white dial. That's one. Yeah, I'd love to get one of those because I haven't got a chronograph. I've never been too taken by chronographs. Never had the need for a chronograph, but this one has really taken my fancy. I love it, and especially on the Gayfrey ladder bracelet. It's a smashing watch. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. Have you been to try? Have you got one on your wrist and had it on your wrist?
I've never had it on my wrist. Never had it on my wrist. No, but I've just been so tempted. Other things that have caught my eye. I've been really tempted by. There's a local pawnbroker near me which has got a Clint Eastwood Tiger's Eye root beer. Vintage root beer, the Clint Eastwood one, and I'd love to get one of those as well. But we're talking vintage Rolex, so of course the prices have spiraled out of control, and they're charging.
Those things are going. They're
charging £9,000 or £10,000 for it, and it's just ridiculous. So it's unrealistic.
And
another thing
addition would be the key. Sorry, go on. Yep.
Another thing I was looking at, which was more realistic, was Tudor P01. Which is a more realistic option and more within my budget, to be honest with you. It's about £3,000, but you can get them for $3,000, I think, now in Joma Shop in America.
You've been spending a bit of time on Joma Shop, haven't you? Getting tempted.
But they're gorgeous watches. I've tried one of those on, and I really liked it to look at. And when I tried it on, it just felt beautiful.
That's really what I've heard about P01. Yeah, because I'm a very much a like it's a Marmite watch, right? And I'm in the I hate it camp. But a mate of mine was saying, man, once you have it in your hands and you get it on your wrist, it's a whole different thing. It changes it. You've got to. It's one of those ones you must have on your wrist.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as far as Breguet, ID guy saying sell it and buy Breguet. I mean, I've been lusting after Breguet for ages. I mean, the 7147, which is a Grand Four white enamel dial with a sub-seconds at 5 o'clock, is just absolutely beautiful. I love it. It's about. We're talking.
Breguet what?
It's a Breguet 717.
717. Let's have a look at this. Okay. Oh, is this like there's quite a few there. And let me.
It's a white dial. Yeah.
With the blued hands, is that the one? With what sort of case? White gold, is it?
It's white gold, yeah, with a sub-second dial at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me do this. I'm gonna do some more wizardry here. Jeez, look how good I am at this, man. I'm a master. You're the watch master. I'm like the stream. I'm the stream master. Oops. Okay. Share. Let's have a look. So I think it's this this bad boy here, right?
Yeah. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
You can tell like there's so much detail that goes into these watches. Absolutely mind blowing. Yeah, the Breguet line that I've been been eyeing up is the Tradition line, which has got the small dial up the top.
Oh yeah, they're really expensive. Those aren't they?
Real, man, forget it. That's like you got to win Tatslotto or you got to win Powerball.
Yeah. I mean, the one of these we're talking about. I think £14,000 or maybe £17,000. And another one was the 5177 I was looking at with the blue dial, the Grandfur blue enamel dial. 5177. 5177.
Why does shit always come up? Oh, you brought this one up on the punters. This was your choice, I remember. Yeah. I think so. I think I saw this on the show one day. Yeah, the dial, the Grand Foy enamel, right? It's really hard to do. It's really hard to do it properly, and to get it with these with the numerals, it's almost like they're inlaid into the enamel or something. It's just smashing. It's really. These watches are technical masterpieces. They are just stunning machines. Yeah, I get Breguet. I don't get why people don't talk about Breguet more, to be honest.
Same here. I mean, I think it's the lugs put a lot of people off. The stuck-out lugs put a lot of people off, and they think they're old-fashioned looking watches, and they're not steel sports, are they? Everyone's on about steel sports, aren't they? They want steel sports. I want steel sports. It's steel sports, you know. Not everyone wants dress watches, you know. Not everybody wants dress watches, do they? The hype is around steel sports, Rolex, steel sports.
Yeah, 100%. It's all this hype train rubbish, which just, you know, all the cool stuff is, you know, overlooked, you know. It's
absolutely, yeah.
Which is, you know what, Tom, it works in our favor because it makes it cheaper. Like for the, you know, the Zenith that I bought, I'll just give you a real life example. The Zenith that I bought, this guy had it on eBay, and I was the only one who was interested in the watch. Like I was the only person who, yeah, totally. Like no one even, you know, no one bothers with that stuff, right? Zenith is a brand that only until like 2 weeks ago or whatever, no one was even talking about Zenith. No one fucking cared at all. And so I was able to, I squeezed this guy down to a ridiculous like price for the watch, and I got a killer El Primero for like, you know, three grand US or something. So the hype train, I feel, as bad as and shit as it is, it works in our favor because all of the sheep are out there trying to bust down, you know, the Rolex AD's doors and all that sort of stuff. But then, you know, the real connoisseurs, like the enthusiasts, know about the pieces, and that's what I think is part of the fun for me, is finding those little diamonds in the rough that no one sort of cares about, like the hunt, like finding those little nuggets, that the hidden gems, you know. That's what I get off on now. Not that I have the money to really do it, but when you find a little hidden gem, you feel like, oh man, like it just makes your whole collecting experience, you know, worthwhile, I reckon. Anyway, so the Breguet, any other Breguets that you're looking at, Thomas, or any other watches that you're seriously sort of considering?
Watches, my grail probably at the moment would be
let's talk grails. What are your grails?
My grail of the past would be the Vacheron 1921 historique.
Vacheron 1921 historique. Oh, hit. This is the one Blue Shirt talks about a lot of. Oh no, this is this one. Yeah.
Bill Sanders has got one of these.
This is just like, oh, What's this worth? How much is one of these going to set you back?
Is this up on screen? You're not bringing this up on screen, are you, at the moment? This one.
Yeah, I am. It should be. Why am I not? Oh, hang on a sec. Yeah. Sorry. I'm sharing. You know what? I'm getting all these different tabs, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay, so now I know that I need to be okay. Thank you for that. So this is the one. There's this. I think this is the rose gold one that most people know, but then there looks like
beautiful rose gold, gorgeous.
One.
There's a white gold one. There's a rose gold one. I'd go for the rose gold. It's gorgeous. I've tried it on. It's just stunning. It's about £30,000. It's just
and we
absolutely stunning. Say again?
Was it hard to take it off? Were you like, I don't want to?
Oh, I just had to take photographs of it and just be able to ogle at it. It was just stunning.
Yeah. Okay. So I've missed a whole heap of comments here, and I'm going to get into this one. We'll come back to, I reckon, because let's do this again another time, Thomas, and we'll pick up on your grails, and we'll keep going with your collection. I really, really am enjoying this conversation around your collection and where you want to go. Let's
certainly.
Let's give the punters what they want to see, which is let's talk about the Chronomaster Sport a little bit. It's obviously the watch that's
What a watch! Wow!
Everyone, the whole world has been overtaken by the Chronomaster Sport. Now, I've got a bit of a backstory, and I won't get into too much of that in terms of Zenith. Like, I think, Tom, you probably know that before this watch came out, I was getting on the Zenith train, like since I picked up my El Primero, which was like last August. Sort of
since you got the Captain.
Fuck, man, that thing, that just turned me. I'm like, man, I'm a Zenith fanboy. Like, just having that one watch, like the quality of the piece, absolutely just a mind-blowing piece, right? And so then this thing comes out. What I've kind of been thinking, also, given, and let's take a step back, right? We're talking about the horological landscape a little bit, and okay, we need to talk about Rolex a little bit, and I'm not going to try and harp on about it, but Rolex mania has taken over the world, right? We all know that, we accept it, and it is what it is. Okay, everyone wants a GMT, a sub, or a Daytona. Okay, so my thinking was that, and this is going a little while, going back kind of more towards it. The end of last year, I kind of crystallized in my mind that watch brands are going to start bringing out watches that are proper alternatives, and not proper is probably not the right word, but alternatives that average punters will go for when they can't get a Rolex. Okay, so you're going to start seeing brands like Zenith, Breitling, ones that aren't really in the mainstream so much, bringing out a competitor for, say, the Submariner, for example. You know what I mean? And that was in my head. I wasn't thinking so much about the Daytona, and then this watch just dropped, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? Like, like you could see it, like the writing was on the wall. Like, I reckon most people are probably thinking the same thing, right? Like, people, like, brands are going to bring out stuff to take sales away, and I call it filling the Rolex void. That's what they're doing. It's just a smart play. It's the smart move, right? Bring out something that, someone who can't get a Submariner, where are they going to go to? Most people go to Seamaster, okay? Because that's the natural thing. But when you've got a Seamaster on your wrist, it doesn't compare to a Submariner. It's not the same experience. It doesn't have the dimensions and the feel on your wrist That's what makes Rolex what it is. It's one of the things that makes Rolex what it is. It's the proportions and the way that they feel on your wrist. That's a really, really beautiful thing that they've got going on. I think that because I had a Datejust 41 last year, and the way that thing felt was amazing. Beautiful, beautiful watch, right? So
Right.
so it was just, I felt like it was just going to happen. Someone was going to do something exactly like the Chronomaster Sport, and here we've got Zenith bringing out. Okay, it's obviously El Primero lineage. It is, we know, we've all seen ID Guy's video, and I'm not going to get into all of the history of it because people more smarter than me and more research than me have already done it. But obviously it's got the next generation El Primero. The heart is an El Primero, but it's got the ceramic bezel, which, it's kind of, overall, if you squint at the watch and if you take a step back, it's got that overall vibe of the Daytona. And let's be honest, like, they have brought out a watch to fill that Rolex void. And I don't think, calling it, it was really interesting. I think this watch, I haven't seen a release that has caused so much sort of controversy or such a big seismic event in the community since I've been kind of in the game, I reckon. Maybe the only thing I can think of, maybe I don't know, something like the Batman or something, because it was just such a cool watch. But this one has caused people to really get their pitchforks out. There's people who are in the homage camp, and then there's people who are like really defending the watch. It's really brought out this sort of passion and even like the ugly sort of side of the industry. So apart from the watch itself, this is a really significant release because of all of these other things that have happened, and sort of it's kind of shone a mirror up to the industry a little bit and the community to see how people have reacted to it. Some good, some bad, some in between. So there's all this other stuff. Let's talk about the watch itself. Now, the watch itself is a stunning, stunning watch. Like, on the wrist, it feels so, so good. It's got a really nice weight to it. All the edges of the bracelet are really smooth. It's just the craftsmanship. It's what you would expect from Zenith. Obviously, they make really, really, really good watches. That my only issue with the watch is the height of the watch. I don't have the exact dimensions on hand, but I believe it's something around the 14 point something, maybe 14.3, and you can't really tell from this angle, but it does sit up quite a bit high off the wrist. And for a lot of people, that's not an issue. They'll be like, oh yeah, that's cool. I don't really mind. It's, it is what it is. But I'm in a phase now where height is a really big determining factor for me when I purchase a watch. I've gone into, I'm pretty picky now. It's got to be sort of under kind of 13.5. That's my limit. Probably under 13 is really where I'm at. When I'm looking at a watch, if it doesn't say 11 point something or 12 point something, I kind of dismiss it. And it's probably, that's stupid, but that's just what I like. So for me, the issue is the height. I reckon some people are probably going to have the same feeling. And I get that it needs to be high, the movement and the waterproofing and yada, yada. Like, it is what it is. But that's the only downside. That's the only downside I could think of. Everything else was just amazing. Like the craftsmanship, the feel on the wrist, the look of the watch. When you've got it on your wrist, it looks nothing like a Daytona. It absolutely, it's nothing like it. Like I said, it's only when you sort of squint, when you hold the two watches up side by side and you step back and you look at them, then yes, there's a resemblance there. But once you have it in your hands, it's like it's not even close. Like, there's so different. the dial, the subdials, and the case shape and all that sort of stuff. It's a much different beast. But yeah, would I buy it? I wouldn't buy it for two reasons. One, it's very expensive. It's in Australian dollars, it's 14.3 thousand. I think that's 10,000 US. And as I said, the height. So that's the thing for me. I think the prices. So they're not discounting this watch. The AD was like, yeah, no discounts on this at all. But every other Zenith in the display case was subject to discount. But yeah, this one, they're obviously the hype train is like, they're not discounting it. The question is this: do you think that they will restrict the supply to build up to keep the hype train going? I think that's an interesting question.
I don't know. I mean, I think they'll. I don't know whether they will restrict supply. I mean, I love this watch and I'm passionate about it, and I feel that it's got a lot of flack from this sort of it's a Daytona thing, It's I mean, if you look at that, that is the original DeLuca from the 90s, and that I've got on screen now, the original DeLuca from the 90s. Is that a Zenith ripoff? Is that a Daytona ripoff?
Yeah, no way. Like people, that's the thing. I think a lot of commentators, they looked at the photos online, and they just saw the press photos and all that, and people were just wanted to just have some sort of negative commentary.
It's a mixture. It's a mixture of that DeLuca look and this A386 look, which is a more tricolor dial on it, like ID Guy said in his video. And it's. I mean, Zenith. I mean, Rolex don't own the rights to ceramic bezels, for Christ's sake. I mean, and also they don't own the rights to polished center links, and that is they are the main things that I think associate this watch to a Daytona: the polished center links and the ceramic bezel. And I mean, I think the case are different to a Daytona. The pushers are different. The crown's different. The tricolor dial's different. The fact that it's got a date on it is different. Even the bezel. It's not a tachymeter. It's a tenth of a second readout. It's there's so much different stuff going on to it to a Daytona. It's the only thing. The main thing when you look at it, the first glance, the thing that catches your eyes is ceramic bezel, and that's the thing that people have said it's a Daytona. The fact that it's got this ceramic bezel, they associate that with the modern day Daytona, which originally had a metal bezel. So it's. I think there's so much more going on in this watch. There's so much more to be seen in it and admired in it, and the movement's so much better, and it's beating at something like I think it's 1 beat a second. I think because for the 3,000 beats per hour, it beats at 1 beat per second. I think. No, 10 beats per second. Sorry, 1 beat for every tenth of a second.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's an amazing watch. I mean, it really is.
Yeah,
311 parts. 311 parts, is it? In it, I think.
Sorry, what was that? In pounds?
I think it's 311 parts. Components.
Parts. Yeah. Yeah, components. Yeah, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, the original El Primero is about 276, I think. So they've had to obviously bump it up a little bit for this one. Yeah, it's no, yeah, it's a great watch. It's gonna sell like hotcakes for sure. It's gonna go nuts. It's gonna go nuts, and and it's
It,
obviously the watch that's brought Zenith into the spotlight, and I feel like it's brought them into the mainstream. They've always been a watch that's been known for being for enthusiasts and not a mainstream brand. Um, it's people who like your average punters now kind of they know about Zenith, and that was obviously one of the main goals for them to do, and I'm really happy for them. Actually, I think that it's a masterstroke. It's an absolute masterstroke from Zenith. Like
I
everything,
mean,
the
it's
watch is
60 hours power reserve now, isn't it? 10 more than the original caliber.
60. Yeah, that's right.
Which is nearly 3 days. It's got hacking seconds as well, and it's
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the big thing about the El Primero was that tended to put people off was the lack of hacking seconds. But I mean that's
I mean,
I don't want.
I find it a really practical chronograph. It's a really fun, dynamic chronograph that young people can use and obtain. More importantly than anything, I mean, I find a Daytona a more middle-aged person's watch. To be honest with you, by the time they've been on the waiting list and got it, they're in their 40s or 50s. By the time they've saved up. By the time they've saved up for a Daytona, got on the waiting list and got it, you're in your later years, aren't you? And are you going to wear it? Are you going to wear it, or are you just going to stash it in the box and put it in the bank safe? I mean, with this Zenith, you're actually going to wear it. Are you going to enjoy it? You're going to use this chronograph. You're going to. I mean, how many people unscrew those pushers on a Daytona and actually press the pushers and watch that hand tick slowly away? When really on this Zenith you got that 1/10 of a second hand sweeping around really beautifully and just mesmerizing you as you watch it. It's just something else. It's just.
Yeah, it sounds like.
I mean,
It's going to be one of your next purchases, there, Thomas.
No, the A384 definitely for me. The Revival for me.
Yeah, the Revival. Yeah, that's a whole.
I'd love to get a Zenith watch. Believe me, JCB. I'd love to get one.
Get one. Get next watch. Do it. You'll be surprised, like how the quality of the watches is just amazing. It's so good. Now, they've had different times in their history. I know where they've had different CEOs and different masters and different sort of, probably finance behind them and whatever. And so you probably throughout the back catalogue and the history of Zenith, you're probably going to have differences in build quality and stuff like that. But I don't know. The piece that I got, I'm just talking from the experience that I've got with my watch. It's just out of this world. It's just so good. What would speaking of Rolex, what would your advice be to like a young punter who wants to get like a Submariner or a GMT or something?
Go and visit your AD, get friendly with them, get talking with them, get associated with them, show your face as much as possible. Yeah, get your face down there. Get your face down the AD and get associated with them. Get to know them by name. Get friendly with them, and get your name on the list. And
I don't know.
Just get your name down there and keep popping in and showing your face and get friendly, because they're only going to be going after the VIP clients and the people they're important clients, who are the goods are only, they do get stock, and the stock is only going to the clients who are buying regularly and staying friendly with them. So you need to make your face known, basically, and you need to be staying sort of incommunicado with them. So you
ID
need
guys
to.
got a point there. It's a 20-month wait. That's actually, from what I can tell with Daytonas and Pandas, that's probably short, to be honest. A lot of people are saying 3, 4, 5 years to
Yeah,
get a Daytona.
that does seem short. 20-month wait. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I say that's cool. It's not cool, but in the scheme
But
of things.
yeah. All I could say is get down and get friendly with your AD, and show your
You've
face
got,
and.
got to buy watches, I think. That's the problem. I don't know how friendly.
Um,
All right.
well, I mean, I don't buy that many watches from my ID, to be honest with you. I don't buy that many at all, but I pop in now and again. I pop in every other week and say
Yeah.
hello and just have a chat. And
Yeah.
he knows
It
he
doesn't
knows my he knows my face and he knows me. But I mean, who knows? Things may have changed by the next time I go to order a watch. Things may have changed. I may not be in favour with him. He may be saying, "Sorry, but there's Mr. X who's on the door. Who's buying a lot more stock than you, Tom. Sorry, you're not in favour."
Yeah, yeah, totally get it. So I think we've been going for an hour and 16 or something like that. What else did I have to ask you? I was sort of grilling you, but we got sort of sidetracked a little bit. It's been good chatting with you. Do you have any thoughts on what do you like? Here's a question. Actually, I've got a few questions. Actually, this one's a bit left
Yeah,
of
fire
field.
away, fire away.
If you could be the CEO of a watch brand, what would the brand be, and what would your first move be as CEO?
Oh, that's a brilliant question, JCB.
Do you need some thinking time? Maybe we can come back.
Oh. Well, I mean, from a punter's perspective, it would be CEO of Rolex and ramp up production. But from their perspective, I think they're probably happy sitting on their laurels and creating hype and demand. So I think they're more than happy. But
yeah, that is a good one.
What would it be? What would
That's
it be?
Rolex, isn't it? Like, would they change anything? Have what they've done? Is it all calculated? And
Yes,
is
yes,
the
yeah. I
master?
think there's somebody, a master at the top there, processing everything and looking down and cleverly calculating everything. I think it's all cleverly worked out and marketed, and all the marketing's cleverly done, and everything's worked out. Yeah. Who would I take over? I think maybe, I don't know, someone like maybe Tag Heuer or something as an entry brand, because I don't see them doing much. I don't see them doing. I know that a lot of people. It's been a gateway brand for a lot of collectors, Tag Heuer, and I don't see them creating that much. I haven't heard of. I haven't seen much of them on the map, to be honest with you.
People like
of recent years, and it'd be interesting to see them revive some new products, maybe the Otavias I think they did the Otavias recently, didn't they? But maybe to see them revive some bring some new products out and bring out some better calibers, maybe, and see what people could do. See what they could do to turn the sort of the impression that the image that they've got of the people have given them around a bit, because they've been sort of demonized a bit, really, Tag Heuer, haven't they? They're seen as a bit of a sort of down and out brand, and not, oh, don't buy Tag or don't buy. But they have been a gateway for a lot of people. They have been be interesting to see if they could revive themselves a bit.
Yeah, good suggestion with Tag Heuer. I like that. Last question. We'll wrap on this. We'll wrap up on this one. Maybe we'll keep going at another time. If you could pick a brand ambassador for a brand, who would the ambassador be, and what would the brand be?
Oh,
this is a tricky one. This one, I keep changing my mind when I think about this one. I don't have an
ambassador for a brand.
Yeah.
Right. So I'd say
Zenith just got some NFL guy. I know, but I don't know who the guy is. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah.
I was thinking maybe someone musical, but we've had people like Lady Gaga, haven't we? With Tudor, and we've got film stars, haven't we? And
Carl Cox is a ambassador for Zenith as well.
Who's that?
How's that? Carl Cox.
Oh, really?
Yeah. How's that?
Wow. Blimey. DJ.
Yeah. There's a Carl Cox. There's a Carl Cox limited edition El Primero, right?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's got turntables on it.
You're kidding me. Really?
Yeah. This is the guy, Aaron Rodgers. I have no idea. It's a really interesting question, I think, because it makes you think about, like, what are the brands thinking when they're picking ambassadors? Like, what's the, you know what I mean? Like, it's interesting to see, like, when brands come out with ambassadors. I remember when George Kern came into Breitling, one of the first things he did was get Kelly Slater, Adam Driver, and Charlize Theron to be ambassadors for the brand. I just thought like that was a really interesting move. I don't know. Do ambassadors? Do you care? Like, if a brand, who the ambassadors actually are? Does it make I know with watch enthusiasts, probably not. This is my answer.
I don't think watch enthusiasts, I don't think, take much notice of ambassadors. I don't think watch enthusiasts do. I think ambassadors are to introduce people to the watch market, to the watch hobby, and maybe to pull in people with a bit of money who are passing the shops and see the posters up there and see their favorite actress, musician, footballer, and pull them into the store and try on the watch that they're wearing, and it's. I mean, there's ambassadors for all sorts of things, isn't there? Clothing, cars, watches,
check it out.
and shoes. So this is a Carl Cox Zenith, is it?
Oh, what happened there? Yeah. Check it out. It's got that little turntable.
The center of the
Yeah, that'll be running seconds, I think.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So that's a Defy 21.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to spend on a watch that Carl Cox endorses, isn't it?
But look, it's got this, the loom. The loom is like, so when you're DJing, right? You can check it out. It's amazing.
The thing is, most DJs don't earn any money, so you got to be a highly paid DJ There's not many highly paid DJs, believe me.
Yeah, I can imagine. Carl Cox is
It's a hobby. It's a hobby like watches, DJing. DJing is a hobby. You spend all your money on records. So
yeah,
you can't afford watches.
Yeah. All right, man. It's been. I think we might leave it there. It's getting pretty. It's getting pretty late. I could go on for a little while, but it's probably getting a bit late, and we should probably crack on doing stuff. This has been really good. It's been awesome.
It's been great. Really good one, Jesse.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. It's been good to.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again, definitely.
Yeah, it's been awesome kind of getting to know you a bit more, and obviously for more, not only myself but for the punters, we see you in the comments, and we all chat to you and say good day. So it's it's been great. But let's do it again. I think let's see, maybe next Tuesday we might make this a regular thing. We'll get some other peeps on, and I won't take away too much from watch talk with the punters, because I know that's your thing. So Rizzo, thank you. So Will's here. Will Rizzo, thanks man for joining on. We're just about to hop off.
Thanks everyone. Thanks to William Rizzo, ID Guy, Messon1, Mark P, Megan Arthur, Designer to everyone who joined in. Great to see you all.
Yeah, it's been cool. Let's do it again, and we can have a chat. Maybe get some more, get you guys get on if you want to have a chat. And
William Buttle. We
can go through the collections or just talk crap, and have another. This is just another. Yeah. This is just another live stream chat that we can all get together on and shoot the breeze. It's been cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Next week. All right, cool, Jason. Yeah, let's do it. All right. Well, as I said before, this is the only time, that real kind of major time that I've got each week to actually kick back and get deep in with you guys. As you know, Thomas, I like to watch. I love catching up with you guys on the Punters show, but the timing is just out of whack for me, so I catch up a bit later on the day. But
hopefully we'll be able to get you on another show where we can put the time back a little bit later, and we can get you on, hopefully.
If not, that's cool as well. We'll no problem at all, mate. It's all good. All right, man. Thank you. Thanks, guys. It's been awesome. And I'll speak to you guys soon. Cheers.
Yeah, take care, everyone. See you soon.
Thanks. See you guys.